Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 12, Reasonable or Shady. So Giselle is outside the house. We see that they're still working on the house. They are finished up with the West Wing, and now she's working on her entryway. Anyway, she's still going to have the ladies over, whether, construction is still going on or not. She is still, feeling a way about Karen and Wendy for whatever reason. And while she's talking to Wendy about, their plans, because they are launching their podcast, the other ladies don't know. And so this is their way of, sharing their new business venture with the rest of the girls. And she tells Robin that she, don't want Karen and Wendy coming in the house to use the bathroom. And Robin is like, well, we're not doing that. Like, I thought we all had squashed things. I thought that we had all made up. I thought that, all of that was over with. So why you still being shady towards Karen and Wendy? Giselle's just petty. So that's why. That was, good for Robin, finally holding that lady accountable on some, on her BS. But anyway. All right, so Karen, her business, I guess this is a business partner. I don't know. She's never introduced the lady, but the lady drops by with with her box of candles. The whole gift set is put together, and she's bringing it over there to Karen's to, show her what they've come up with. She's also still emphasizing that her candles are 3-wick and Wendy's are 1. She feels like, Wendy and Wendy can coexist in the same, on the same lane, doing the same thing. And they both can thrive and be successful at it. So good for you, Wendy. Good for you. Like, she's just like, I believe in you, girl. I believe in you. She and Ray step outside, and Ray gets a call. This part was very staged, almost like they told him to do it. Because wait a minute, I'm getting a few calls here. You getting a few calls? Okay, so then she looking over the shoulder. Who's that? Apparently it was a picture of some woman. I don't know. I feel like they were just trying to, sprinkle a little something on it. Because it seemed very staged. Okay, Dorothy is over there at Candace's house. She's still in town. She's been there, I want to say, a couple of weeks. I don't know. But she in there bothering Candace. and they sit and have tea. Candace asks, so what was said between you and Mia? Like what was said? And of course, Mama says she don't remember what was said. She said, I don't remember. I just don't know. She don't remember. Bravo reminds us though what was said, and we see Dorothy, bouncing around talking about her daughter and her daughter's husband. Chris comes in, and Candace fills him in on Mia's inquiry, and he's always unbothered by the girls and their pettiness and shade and all of that. It doesn't really bother Chris, because he and Candace have an understanding. And he's like, we know what we got. We know what the situation is. And that's really all that matters. The people can think what they think. Their situation is good, period. Mia, we see that she finally has ice cream with her mom. She and the kids and Gordon. They meet her mom for ice cream. Mia mentions again how her mother and sister, Rashida, are a lot more, close than she and her mom. It's jealousy. Like, she's jealous of their relationship. She kind of feels like her mom thinks, well, Mia and her husband and kids got it all together. Like, she don't need me. Rashida is a single mother with, more than one child. And so she's kind of like the live-in nanny. But she mentions that they go get their nails done together, and they do everything together. Mia is jealous, and Mia wants to hold the past over her mother's head, like, indefinitely. Because every time she sits down and talks to that lady, she is bringing up the past and somehow making that woman feel guilty about, how things went down. At this point, we can't talk about what happened back then. Why we still back there, Mia? At some point, you're gonna have to move forward, and you cannot move forward if every time I see you, you dredging up the past, making me cry. Because the first thing I don't want to make you cry, mommy. Well, stop talking about it. You're not even talking about it to gain some clarity or get some healing. Like, you just want to keep reiterating what happened, and how she abandoned you, or whatever the case may be. Like, let that stuff go. Listen, the crackheads don't want to hear that. Like, they definitely don't want to hear that. And then if you don't want somebody to relapse, you don't want nobody to fall back, then you have to stop holding over her head what she did. Are we moving forward? Have you forgiven me or not? That's where I'm at with it. She shared that her mom was sentenced to 20 years. She was in jail. She was in prison. And when she got out, she stayed with her sister, and she's been staying there ever since. But she went to jail, went to rehab. It was probably a situation where it was like possession or something like that. That gave my brother 20 years back in the 90s. And he just recently got out. My brother's like 40. How old is Jay? Don't get me the line, y'all. And I remember back when he was in and we would write, or that, listen, they're gonna get a phone in there. So we was texting and calling too. But I remember then, and I would ask him, when you getting out? When you getting out? He would always say, you're gonna be married with kids by the time I get out. And he never, I was a child when it happened, so nobody ever really told me the truth about why he went in. My assumption is a drug deal went wrong, or it was just a drug deal. It didn't have to be much for them to give you 20 years back in the day, especially when it involves a little bit of the drug selling, a little bit of the weed. I don't know, but either way it goes, I feel like they probably gave her mama way too much time. Way too much time. But she was able to be released, probably on good behavior or, whatever. But Mia, if you felt that way, you could have took your mama in when she got out of jail. If you want that much time with your mama, you could have made it happen that way. Did you step up? Were you welcoming, your mama when she got out with open arms, or were you, because Mia, whatever. At this point, it's a storyline, and you're dragging it. And I don't think your mama want to play this game with you. I honestly don't even think that her mama like her like that. I think that her mom has her own hangups with Mia and Mia's father. And looking at Mia is probably like looking at Mia's father. And she said that, like, our girl, that's why I couldn't stand your ass when you was little. Like, you reminded me so much of your father. Granted, like, now we can't treat our children, we can't treat our children a certain way based on how we feel about the parent. That's not right. Your children deserve your unconditional love. And that's how we should love our kids unconditionally, regardless of who the parent is, what's going on. And when you decided that you was going to bring them on in, you took on that responsibility, and you just got to love your kids, so it's unfortunate that Mia feels ostracized or alienated, I should say, by her mom. But I don't know if we're gonna get to the bottom of it, because every time Mia sit down with her mama, it's, yeah, and then in the past you left me and I just needed my mom. Girl, she know. Wendy, she has Karen over, and Karen shares with her, the candles and aromatherapy and all of that is launching. She tells Wendy, that she believes that there's room for them both. Wendy kind of gives her that look like, oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. Whole time in the back of her head, I'm sure she's thinking to herself, you old crafty old heifer. Yeah, because Karen is crafty. She's crafty. You got to be able to play this game, and Karen plays it. She runs circles around all of these girls when it comes to promoting her business, promoting her things on their platform. Like when it's time for them to film, because this is Wendy's platform right now. You filming over there at Wendy's house. Wendy probably opened this up to you, and here you are promoting your stuff on it. So we can count on Karen to do what Karen gonna do. But Wendy tells them that because the scholar comes over as well, and she tells them that she has partnered with a charity to donate a few backpacks full of I was gonna say products, supplies. Filling the backpacks full of supplies for the teachers so the teachers don't have to come out their pocket. A scholar says that she was a teacher for 10 years, so she know all about coming out the pocket. I feel like most teachers have to come out the pocket. If you want, because like she said, they only give the teachers a small budget. So if you want the best of the best, the good stuff, the good quality things, you probably gonna have to come out your pocket. I got 2 trash bags worth of paper towels, Kleenex, I feel like I got Clorox wipes in there too. It's 2 bags full. I still ain't dropped them off to these kids' teachers. On the first day, I intended to do that, but they said we couldn't come into school. And so, like, it's just been in the trunk. I've just been riding around with it in the trunk. I give it to them someday. Like, I sent them in there with the supplies, but they couldn't carry them big trash bags. But still, we got to help the teachers. So let me get off the soapbox. But that was important. These teachers need help. There's a teacher shortage, but aside from that, help the teachers out, help them out. Okay, I think that was it for them. Oh, she also tells them that she wants to do a weekend getaway. She feels like they deserve it, but she wants to, this time a couples weekend getaway. So we have all the couples. When it comes to to Giselle, Wendy's like, she can bring her luggage. She can bring her luggage. That can be her guest, her luggage. That's what she bringing. The luggage. All right. So the day of the party, Giselle, she got the people working, outside. Meanwhile, she had the get together is going to be under the tent at the curb in the driveway. And they've decorated and everything. Giselle, she's wearing a boot. She done hurt her foot. Oh well. We don't care about that kind of stuff because, she deserves all the karma that comes her way. She deserve it. She deserve. Everybody's pulling up. Robin gets there. She has to change. Ashley pulls up, and she's pleasantly surprised by the West Wing. The last time she was there, it was just, little old ranch. Now she has the West Wing there. So Ashley is, pleasantly surprised at the upgrades. Mia pulls up, judging as usual. Mia always pulling up to a situation. And what is this? Where am I? Oh my goodness. Where are we? At the where on the curb? Like, that's Mia. Mia got all the complaints about where she at. She just, girl. Has she she's hosting an event. I was gonna say, has she hosted an event yet? She has. Her little the goddess situation was her doing. Anyway, she even had the nerve to say that sorry y'all, this little piece of hair. She even had the nerve to say that Giselle, it wasn't hotel Giselle, it was more like motel Giselle. Now that lady she gonna have a problem with that. She gonna have a problem with that. Giselle don't like nobody talking about her house, about her tear down. Anyway, when Karen arrives, Karen has gifts. She's brought them both. I think everybody got one of, a sample, not even a sample. It was a full-on gift set, with her new home fragrances and home aromas and all of that, the candles and all of that. Okay, everybody gets there. They were waiting on Candace, but they're going to go ahead and get started because Candace hasn't arrived. So they tell the ladies, that they have the Reasonably Shady podcast and they, got a contract with iHeartRadio. And so everybody's excited, happy, clapping it up. Good job for y'all. Good job. Kudos to y'all. And then Robin shares that, because, now that they're working together and business partners and all of that, they're like, have we argued yet? And Robin was like, well, this almost wasn't going to happen. And of course, now everybody's like, well, do tell. And she says that, well, no, Giselle, takes the time to tell them, well, I wasn't going to let the haters in the house. I wasn't going to let Karen and you, Wendy, in the house. And Wendy immediately immediately. And I'm on, and I too would have been this way. Immediately, my morale would have been different. My attitude would have been bad because, first of all, what you just told me was you ain't want me at your house, in your house. So why am I here now? And so when he was like, well, I mean, I wasn't even going to come. So now Giselle flips it. Oh, you weren't? So what's that about? Is there an issue? What's the problem? Girl, the problem is you wasn't even going to let me use your bathroom. So had I not come, that probably would have been the smart thing for me to do because you wasn't even going to let me use your bathroom, lady. And so, of course, now Wendy is, on the defense. She thought that the invite was shady. And now Robin, well, why did you take it personal? The title of the podcast is Reasonably Shady. So, girl, them people didn't know that. We knew as the viewers, but the rest of the ladies did not know that you guys had created a podcast, and that was, the whole theme behind it all. Your invitation say welcoming all friends and haters. What? So now, of course, everybody looking at their invitation like, so who the hater? Because I know I ain't no hater. So who the hater? Who's hating? Wendy just want to know, like, how was she supposed to put that into context? Giselle says that Wendy was one, was one of the haters. And Wendy was like, hating on this? And she got a good laugh. That was hilarious to me. Hating on this? Girl, on that? Please. Hating on that. On all this. Girl, please. They change the subject or whatever, keep the little shade light because they got games to play. They play a game. Everybody gets a paddle. One side says reasonably, one side says shady. The first question, is it reasonable or shady to hold a grudge after an apology has been made? You already know Karen thinks that that's reasonable because considering she in Giselle's past, she's always got to hold a grudge for something because Giselle always doing something. Next question, is it reasonable or shady to talk about your friends behind their backs? Giselle says, their conversations about Eddie behind Wendy's back were reasonable. But Wendy going and telling Candace what Mia said wasn't reasonable. It was shady. It was whack. And while they're talking, Candace is pulling up. She pulling up. she inching on down the thing too, and it's giving, where am I? Like she in the forest or something, looking up at the trees. She inching down the driveway. Those people were spooked out there at Giselle's house. When Candace does come up, by the way, guys, this whole time Karen is dizzy and loopy as hell because she just got her second dose. Was it the second dose? I think she said she got the second dose of the vaccination, and it had her loopy as hell. And so she's back there looking like, and Bravo, they have edited it to where it's really giving, psychedelic. like she done took some LSD or something like that. It was hilarious. I was cracking up. This episode was funny. It was real funny. But anyway, when Candace sits down, they fill her in on what's been going on, what they're talking about. And Candace defends Wendy like, well, that's what my friends should do. My friends should come and tell me when a bitch is talking about me behind my back. And Robin and Giselle, their whole thing is, well, it's not that she told you. It's the timing was off. Like, she could have thrown you off your game. Girl, whatever. Did you tell Giselle that when she came up in your party? Like, no, you waited until after the fact. You waited, and I want to say, like, weeks later, then you had something to say. You could have checked her right then and there. Friend, you doing too much at my event. This is a professional event. I need you to chill out. I need you to stop. You didn't do that. You let that lady ruin your entire thing. And then you didn't have no smoke for her. So if Candace is cool with her friend coming to her and telling her what somebody else is saying to her about, and talking to her mama and all of that, listen, the video shoot was practically over. by then. So, I mean, it is what it is. And regardless of all of that, if Candace said that she's okay with it, then you need to drop it. Why you mad? Why you upset? I didn't run and go tell her what you said, like, and then Candace wants to know, okay, well, who all has something to say? Giselle, the first person to blurt out Karen, and Karen's like, no, I wasn't. Wendy says, oh, you blurting out Karen without even saying your name first? Okay, Giselle. Giselle say, I didn't say nothing to Dorothy, but I did want to know what the answer was. Anyway, somehow Mia comes, because she wants to know why Mia even wants to, like, why are you concerned? Why are you even asking my mama about my money and all of that? Like, I don't do that. I don't share my financial situation with nobody. Like, we not doing that. So why would you, why? Mia says, well, I came to a situation and I didn't think that I was going to, there was no management to greet me. There was nobody to greet me. I just come to the parking lot because Candace is like, well, girl, you said you came to do a favor. You're not getting paid. So what's this? What's all of this? What are you talking about? Well, I just didn't expect for it to come to something so low budget. Your mama low budget. Watch your mouth. That's right, Candace. There are a lot of people that had a problem with her comment. Why? Why y'all always got issues with how lethal Candace's mouth is? If you can't handle it, why are you here? Like, it's always, oh, she gonna get dragged again. Are you an idiot? Like, that's what that shows. That shows me that you don't have the mental capacity, bandwidth, wherewithal to carry on a conversation, let alone spar with words. Because that is what this is about. You spar with your words over here. If your first instinct is to hit somebody, you got to grow up. You gonna have to grow up. Candace, I feel like Candace, because what she said wasn't wrong. I ain't mad at what she said. It just happened to be very true. It happened to be very true. Candace has said on social media that she didn't even know nothing about that lady mama. And granted, she probably didn't. But still, your mama joke is that's how the people do Heavenly over there on Married to Medicine. Heavenly used to always, that was always her clapback. Your mama. Your mama's a bitch. Your mama. And, and that made the people very angry. You want to talk about mothers? Are you serious? So, like, y'all in roast, where you from? Roast and gag and all of that? Like, you didn't Joan the people? Like, that is the oldest Joan in the book. Your mama. And so I don't get why we're having a disagreement. We're beefing. And you think that I'm going to be really thinking about not hurting your feelings. No, the goal is to cut you deep. So all is fair in these arguments and things and in these beefs. Like, y'all gonna have to stop with that. Where, like, it's always, she didn't have to say that when it comes to Candace. And I don't like that. So what about Mia going around and really just talking to that girl's mother about her finances and her husband? So that wasn't inappropriate and the wrong time? No, just the reaction behind it. I don't understand these people. I really don't understand these people. Because they have a whole back and forth about this, and Ashley chimes in and Candace says, were you there, beloved? Okay, that's enough. Good night. That's all I needed to know. Good night. Good night. Were you there, beloved? You weren't? Okay, so shut up. Pipe down. Shut your wide face ass up. Okay? Ashley, no, I wasn't there. Girl, please. She's always, I just don't think that it was. Girl, were you there? No. So you don't know anybody's intent. You don't know none of that because you weren't even there. Why are you talking? You weren't there. Okay, they changed the question. Is it reasonable or shady to drunk down your friend and tell them that you don't like them? Karen say, oh, that's reasonable. Because they talking about Karen. Karen be drunk dialing the girls. And she be either, professing her friendship and undying love. Or it's, girl, I really don't even like you like that. I really like Juan better than I like you. They say they love Candace. I mean, they love drunk Karen. And this loopy vaccinated Karen is very similar to drunk Karen. Okay, then the next question. Giselle lets Robin read this one. Is it reasonable or shady to be concerned about dramatic changes made to your friend's appearance after cheating rumors about their husband emerges? And so now everybody like, now bitch. Really, girl? Giselle says she thinks that it's reasonable, and Wendy is like, it would only be reasonable if the same blog didn't report that you had an STD. And then Giselle is, I don't. Okay, girl. So if it ain't true for you and we didn't talk about it, then why you bringing the untruths, over here to the group to talk about my husband and my marriage? Why, Giselle? Why? Because you're petty and bitter and miserable and all the above? We get it, girl. We get it. Both Robin and Giselle, of course, because they always trying to gaslight their lady. And so they are gaslighting her some more. And it's getting to be too much. And Ascale jumps in, trying to be the level-headed person, the voice of reason. And Mia's like, who is she, the mediator? And Ascale is like, pipe down, bitch. Sit back and eat your fucking food with your whole ass. Ain't nobody talking to you. I said, right. That's right, Ascale. Okay, Ascale. Like, I didn't know at first. I really didn't know, but I like Ascale. I do. I really like her. She had Wendy's back. Wendy and Candace. The back and forth and all of that. Karen chimes in and she's just like, oh, Wendy, this is the perfect time to talk about the trip. Oh, my bad. I kind of put you on the spot, didn't I? And so now Wendy got to tell him about the trip. And she says, it's a couple trip. Eddie will be there. Ray will be there. I don't know Ascale's husband's name. We're going to call him Jay. Jay going to be there. She looks over at Robin. Yeah. So maybe Michael will be there. Hopefully Michael will be there. And your luggage will be there. And Robin is like, that bitch, she's just gonna skip over me on purpose. Like, that she's just not even gonna acknowledge that I have a relationship. See, she's really showing how she feels about me. Robin, you're right. You're right. And now what are we gonna do with this information? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Okay. Where do we go from here? Because Robin really be on some rah-rah, like, people are going to be pressed that she's no longer their friend. Girl, please. Like, oh, Robin, please be my friend. Are you mad at me, Robin? Girl, please. Please. Giselle even tried to kick Wendy off the curb. Okay, well, then you can be dismissed. If you're going to be like this, then you can just go. Because Robin, it's just, I can't even reason with her. Wendy is under y'all's skin, and she knows it, and don't care. I love it. I love to see it. They are bothered. They're bothered. Wendy has them bothered. I love to see it. Okay, so the ladies, no, not yet, Eden. Mommy, are you done? Okay, anyway, so everybody's leaving. The ladies are filing out, and Candace, she blocking everybody in. So she in the house because Giselle took Candace. She was taking Candace and Ascale and Karen? No, Karen was outside. Definitely not Karen. I can't remember who else was in there, but she was taking them to go see her closet. And Ascale went down there around that corner. Oh, no. All right, next time. I'll catch you next time, okay, sis? I'm going to just catch you next time. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. Walking down in that. That don't even look safe. Nope, that don't look kosher. We're not doing it. I'll see y'all later. You have a good night, okay? And so she turned around and leave. In the house, though, Candace, she's in the house, so she's blocking everybody in. Robin calls her and tells her she's going to have to move the car. Grace, she couldn't wait. Oh, I'll move it. And Candace is like, now, Grace, don't you damage my car. Do not wreck my car, girl. Can you do this? Are you confident? Grace says she's confident. The whole time I'm thinking, don't you let that girl drive your car. She cannot drive. Grace cannot drive. She cannot do this. But Grace go out there and she asks Robin to ride with her for some support. And she move it, but she scrape up the wheels and the tire, scrape up the tire and the rims on the way. But I mean, she don't hit nobody else's car, so I guess that's a plus. And that's where we ended. That's where everything ends. I was glad to see the entire situation unfold, as opposed to them showing us the last 10 minutes, and then we see a little something and have to come back the next week. So that just means they have to bring us all new mess this Sunday, which is a plus. We want new things. New things happening instead of hashing out old tea and old mess for 3 weeks straight. So that was that. Let me get off of here so I can do Huntsville. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.